Hello everyone, glad to meet you once again with another interesting English lesson, and today's lesson is based on vocabulary. Right, now take a look at this paragraph, quite a lengthy paragraph. Please take your time and read it carefully. I will read with you, no worries. While reading, please observe the words highlighted and underlined and see whether you can find or identify the prefixes and suffixes used in these words, because I told you earlier that this lesson is based on the proper usage of prefixes and suffixes. Mobile phone is a wonderful gift for us. It is a recent invention of modern science. It has become an unavoidable part of our lives. Truly speaking, mobile phone is now a part and parcel in our daily life and affair. Nowadays, there is hardly any person who doesn't use mobile phone for essential communication. Our time and energy are largely saved by the use of mobile phone. Some people use it unnecessarily, but improper use of this device, particularly by the young generation, may have negative effects on our society. Let me read the words for you. Wonderful, invention, unavoidable, truly, hardly, communication, largely, unnecessarily, improper, particularly, and generation. Right, I just took one word out of it to see whether you can remember what prefixes and suffixes are. Look at this word. Can you see the numbers? And see whether you can name them. What do you call the part which is indicated by number 1? When you take a complete word, what do you call it? An affix which is fixed in front of the word. Think of the word. And then what do you think about number 2? It is to this word we add prefixes and suffixes. What we call this word. And then comes the end of the word. Number 3. Can you remember the word we use for this? The term we use for this part of the word? Something added, an affix which is added at the end of the word. Hope you remember, and I hope and believe that you identified it correctly. Let's check the answer. Yes, the word is called the root word, and the affix we add in front of the word is called a prefix, and the affix we add at the end of the word is called a suffix. You know that, children, that prefixes we use to change the meaning of the word, and suffixes, most of the time, they change the word class of the word. Right, let's discuss further. Right, I'm taking this word as an example. Act. You know that the word is a noun as well as a verb. If you are using it as a verb, you can say act it out. Right, or perform, to mean perform. Or you can say I performed in an act. So you can use this word as a noun as well as a verb, right? Let's see what happens to this word when we add something at the end of the word. You are right, I'm adding a suffix to the word act, and that becomes active. So the noun or the verb form of act is now slowly changing into an adjective. And you say an active boy, an active student, right? Okay. Look at this one. Activate. Okay, you can clearly see how the word class has changed once again. Now activate is a verb, you know that. And the last one, activation. You can see the root word is the same, act. So when you add suitable suffixes, what happens? The word class changes. Active, adjective. Activate, verb. Activation, once again, is a noun, right? This is what happens when we add suffixes to the root word. I told you we use suffixes in order to change the word class. See how we have formed new words, changing the word class of the root word act. Activation is a noun, activity, noun, action, noun as well as an adjective, actively, adverb, activate, verb, active, adjective. See whether you can identify the suffixes we have used in this particular section. Hope this is clear. Right, let's slowly move on to the next section now. Activity time. Use the prefixes and suffixes. This is going to be quite easy. What you have to do is to identify the prefixes and suffixes. Look at the first word. I have given you an example, and there you can see the colors. I have used red to identify the prefix and blue to indicate the suffix. You also can do the same thing. You can use two different color pens, or you can either circle the prefixes and underline the suffixes. It's up to you. Take your time and see whether you can identify the prefixes and suffixes in all these words. While you're doing it, I shall read it for you. The first word we have here is irrelevantly, replacement, deactivation, unhappiness, uncomfortable, disagreeable, prearrangement, impatiently, misunderstanding, and uncleanliness. I'll give you a few more minutes for you to copy this down and also to indicate the prefixes and suffixes. Right, let's slowly check the answers. There you go. So if you have correctly identified, this is how it should look. Irrelevantly, ir is the prefix, li is the suffix. Likewise, if you go through all these words, you can see the prefixes are indicated in red and the suffixes are indicated in blue. Replacement, deactivation, unhappiness, uncomfortable, disagreeable, prearrangement, impatiently, misunderstanding, uncleanliness. And another thing you must have observed here, in certain words the root word remains the same. In certain words there's a slight change in spelling. Especially when you look at the word deactivation, you can see a slight spelling change there, and also the word unhappiness, right? So please observe that carefully, right? Let's go to the next activity, see what is waiting there for you. Right, a different one, a slightly different activity. What you have to do here is to find the root word. Now you have identified the prefixes and suffixes. It's time now for you to find the root word. That is why I reminded you to focus on the spellings. Right, so when you are taking the root word out of these newly formed words with prefixes and suffixes, you have to be very careful with your spellings. Right, I'll give you a few minutes once again. See whether you can take the root words out of all these words. Since you are familiar with all these words, I'm not reading it this time. You can read it for yourself and take the root word slowly out and list it down. Right, let's take a look at your answers. Hope you have done a good job, children. First word is unnecessarily. When you remove the prefix and suffix, you have the root word necessary. Likewise, irrelevantly, relevant is the root word. Replacement, place is the root word. Deactivation, is the root word. Observe the spelling here. Unhappiness, happy is the root word. Once again, focus on the spelling. Uncomfortable, comfort is the root word. Disagreeable, agree is the root word. Prearrangement, arrange is the root word. Impatiently, patient is the root word. Misunderstanding, understand is the root word. And the last one, uncleanliness, clean is the root word. hope now you are very much familiar with the root word, prefix, suffix and the new word which you form with the use of a prefix or a suffix, or sometimes both prefix and the suffix, right? Right. Here you have an activity. I want you to do it on your own, but I can read it for you, no worries. I want you to focus on the answers given down here. I have given you some prefixes which you have to use in order to fill these blanks and complete the word. We have the prefix dis, re, un, ir, im and over. You can see 5 blanks up there and see whether you can use these prefixes appropriately to build the new word or to fill the blanks to make it a complete paragraph. Right? Take your time. I'll read it slowly with you. Nethuli likes gardening, but she was blank sure which kind of flower she wanted to grow. She was blank appointed when her friends told her that would be blank possible. Nethuli felt blank whelmed when she saw many flower plants in the nursery. Nethuli's mother blank minded her that they could choose a few. Nethuli settled on roses and orchids and was very happy with her garden. When you read the entire paragraph, hope you got the content, the idea of the incident happening here. So accordingly, I hope that you are able to find the correct prefix to fill the blanks. If that is done, I can slowly move on to the next slide to show you the answers. Don't worry if you could not copy the whole paragraph. You can even simply write the words because we are focusing on the usage of prefixes and suffixes. Right. Here's the complete paragraph. Nethuli likes gardening, but she was unsure. Okay, unsure is the opposite of sure, right? So we have used a prefix to change the meaning of the word. Which kind of flowers she wanted to grow. She was disappointed when her friends told her that would be impossible. Nethuli felt overwhelmed when she saw many flower plants in the nursery. Nethuli's mother reminded her that they could choose a few. Nethuli settled on roses and orchids and was very happy with her garden. Hope you are happy too, because I know that you have found the correct answers to this activity. Right. Let's slowly move on to the next section. Right. This is what you have in your textbook. I hope you have your textbooks with you. If you go to page 57, activity 11, you have the very section in your textbooks. So even if my slide is not clear, you don't have to worry because you have it in your textbooks. So please observe this. This is going to be your homework for today. But don't worry, I'm going to pick a few random words from the word list and show you how we are going to do this activity. You can see the word classes indicated in the grid: noun form, verb form, adjective and the adverb of the same root word. Right? I have chosen the words admire, honor, wonder. According to the grid you have, we have to find the noun form, the verb form, adjective form and the adverb form of the same word. Right, let's start with the first word, admire. What is the noun form of it? Admiration. Right, we have used a suffix in order to form the noun form of the word admire. Verb, you know, admire. Adjective, admirable. Adverb, admirably. Right? Okay, now you have 2 more words, honor and wonder. See whether you can do this activity quickly. I have chosen only 2 words for you, but you have to find 4 different forms of the same word. So take some time and see whether you can try that out. Right, let's check the answers. Honor is the noun form. Verb is also honor. We say it's a great honor when we use it as a noun, and we say please honor your parents. You must honor your parents and elders. That is the verb. Adjective, honorable. We say honorable chief guest, right? And then the adverb, honorably. Behave honorably, we say, right? And then comes the word wonder. The noun form is wonder. Verb, wonder. It's like I wonder what I did yesterday. You know, you kind of think, recall. And then adjective, wonderful. It's a wonderful evening, we say. And the adverb, wonderfully. You have done the job wonderfully, right? So this is how we create new words. This is how we change the word class of the root word with the use of suffixes, right? So keeping this in mind, I want you to complete the grid which is there in your textbook, page 57, right? All right, a little bit more for us to practice. You can see 3 different paragraphs here. Don't worry, I'll just show you one by one. So I'm just going to introduce 3 of my friends. We have Nethuli here, Natara and Raini. And we're going to talk about these 3 girls, right, making use of the words given in brackets. So let's talk about Nethuli first. Right, this is Nethuli. And what are the words you see within brackets? Let's read that. Fashionable, fashionably, fashion. It's a very easy task. You simply have to fill the blanks with the suitable word. Nethuli follows all the latest trends in blank. She is a blank girl. Her appearance is blank thin. Work it out quickly. Fashionable, fashionably, and fashion. Try to identify the word class of these words so that it will be easier for you to fill the blanks. Right, here is Natara, and see what she is all about. What are the words you see within brackets, children? Let's read calculation, calculate, and calculated. 3 words. And the paragraph goes as, Natara was given a sum to blank by her teacher. Right? So we are talking about an action there. She showed her blank sum to the teacher. So the action is done. So she's showing the result of it. But her blank was wrong. What she did was wrong. The action once again was wrong. Okay? See whether you can fill the blanks with these words. Calculation, calculate, and calculated. Right. And I told you I'm introducing 3 of my friends, and here comes the 3rd one. She is Raini. Right, the words we have within brackets are desirable, desirably, and desire. Let's read the paragraph quickly. Raini has a natural blank to help others. She can understand whatever it is blank for her and attends to it. She is blank valuable to everyone. See whether you can choose the correct word and fill the blanks. Desirable, desirably, desire. Use the words randomly in the paragraph, in the blanks, and see whether that sounds correct. If not, we can change it. Take your time. I can show you all 3 paragraphs together if you have not copied it down. Hope that is done. And the answers. We'll check the answers one by one. So first about Nethuli. Right, see whether you have got the correct answers. Nethuli follows all the latest trends in fashion. She is a fashionable girl. So fashion is a noun, fashionable is an adjective that describes the girl here. Her appearance is fashionably thin. Right, okay. Let's go to the next one about Natara. This is about calculation. Natara was given a sum to calculate by the teacher, the verb. She showed her calculated sum to the teacher. So here calculated is used as an adjective, calculated sum. But her calculation was wrong. So calculation is once again a noun, right? Okay. Finally, we have Raini. Raini has a natural desire to help others, right? So desire here is a noun. She can understand whatever it is desirable for her and attends to it. And she is desirably valuable to everyone, right? Hope you got the answers correct, children. That is it for the day. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. It was based on the correct usage of prefixes and suffixes, and I hope and believe that you will be confidently approach to the questions based on prefixes and suffixes hereafter. So thank you for spending time with me. Until I see you one more time, stay blessed and thank you.